Good morning, fellow traders. It is Wednesday, the 24th of September, 2025, and I'm your host, Jason Allen, again with today's Traders Daily Discipline. Wanted to get right to work this morning, so we'll just go ahead and put off till tomorrow all the house cleaning we could do, and we'll just take a few minutes and focus on one of the most important things that we need to do to maintain our healthy approach and methodology. Today's quote to get us started is: "Everybody gets so much information all day long that they lose their common sense." And that was from Gertrude Stein, another person who has begun to fade from history, but at the time, in the early 19th century, she was considered one of the top people in her field. She was an art collector, writer, poet, and I think this is probably one of the best quotes that we could use for a daily trader's discipline, because it gets right to the heart of one of the major problems that we as traders tend to have. And that's that we get overloaded with the information available to assist us. Now, most of the information that we get, things like fundamental news, government reports, analysis of the data from various sources, a lot of that really means absolutely nothing to your trading. Some people think it's of major importance, but it really isn't. And the reason it isn't is because news doesn't move the markets. What moves the markets is orders. So what's going to cause an order to come into the market? Well, someone has to believe something strong enough that they're willing to place themselves at risk, or believe something's going to change radically enough that they're going to want to take themselves out of the risk and go flat. So what's the news and information going to do for us? All it's going to do is stimulate people to do something. There's only two groups of people in that whole environment: the "oh my God, get me in" crowd, who thinks that the news is going to make some major change to the underlying price of something, and the "oh my God, get me out" crowd, which believes that the change that's coming is going to crush their positions to the point where they might even lose, so they're out, or they want to be out. Uh, the rest of it, it's common sense. Markets they're not going anywhere bigger than they've ever gone before. You're overloading yourself with the news. Technical analysis, another huge time wasting, just illusion about how money's made in this business, but people seem to want to spend hours and hours and hours drawing lines and dots and ratios and curly cues on a little piece of paper for themselves, and they think that all this is going to make a huge difference. And oh wait, don't forget about the line crossing this line, and don't forget about the pullback due from the Elliott wave ABC3, whatever. It's all bullshit, but people seem to trust it, and they get overloaded with that, because for every single piece of technical analysis done, another trader will do the exact same analysis and come up with an opposite conclusion. So you do all your stuff and you think it should be long in some market, and the other guy does all his stuff and he thinks he should be short. Well, you're not both going to win. So what's your common sense tell you? See what I'm saying is that we tend to do this as traders. We have to really watch out for this, that we get overloaded with data and information and analysis and market opinion, and some surprise happens in the markets that nobody anticipated, and all the talking heads come out of the woodwork, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the day, the only reason you're going to make a dime is because you're on the right side of the order flow. None of that stuff matters. It might matter to the other guy. Well, that's how you take his money from him then. Because if he thinks all that crap matters, then you know where he's going to place his order. And since he's losing 85% of the time, which is the real statistics in this field, and that's not my opinion, that is true, blue, dyed-in-the-wool fact, most people are losing in this field. Since they're doing the wrong thing all the time, most of the time, all you need to do is fade them. And there's been a lot of fortunes made by simply fading what would be considered the news, what would be considered conventional wisdom, what would be considered the obvious play on the technicals, fading that, meaning going the other way. So I would encourage you today, take some time, ask yourself this question. Am I letting myself get overloaded by the information flow that's passing over my desk? I need to take a break, make some changes here for a few minutes, think things through a little better, and don't lose your common sense. There's only one way to make money in this field, and that's be on the right side of the order flow. So if all this crap you're filling your mind with, all this analysis and news and opinion and reports and whatever, if that doesn't help you find the order flow, don't waste your time with it. And that'll keep your head clear for the battle ahead, because the real money is made in your mind. How you think determines how you position yourself. So what you want to do is stop thinking like everybody else and start thinking on your own and using all this information to ask yourself, where's the loser going to go long? Where's the loser going to go short? And take the other side. That's where the real money is. All right, guys, listen, have a great day. My pleasure to be a part of your getting started for the morning. I'll have more for you tomorrow on Thursday. And between now and then, good luck, good trading. Thanks.